All right, so we're gonna move on to the next bit where it was about we're gonna talk a bit more about workplace and also one more question when it comes to being comfortable with ourselves. So I want to ask you because you seem to be an expert, like you're mentioning. Oh, I'm not an expert. I think you are now. What is some advice you can give to others into getting into a conversation with themselves?
I think just be really open and honest. I use these two words a lot. Like if you listen to any of my conversations, I keep saying that open and honest conversations are the biggest deal. And I think as the starting point, you need to be really open and honest about yourself, about how you feel, about how you react, about what triggers you, what are the experiences that you might have, and it all starts from there. And that's how that conversation starts. You might be reading a book and like asking yourself a really honest question: does that remind me of something? Or you might be listening to a podcast and hearing someone share their story. Is that like my case as well? And if something resonates, like what I would do, I would go away and explore. And that's like where those conversations came from. Is that my story as well? Or is it maybe not? Like, do I want to explore that? Like, if I want to explore that, where do I go? Where do I start? How does that work for me? Like if I see a tool that is presented to me, like that could help, like whether it's mindfulness, meditation, CBT, anything like that. Like, is that tool working for me? How is it for me? How do I feel in certain situations? I think that's that conversation with yourself that you should start with.
Yeah, it's really great. Rock bottom before you're like, oh, wait a minute, I should get, I
Yeah.
should do something about this. Whereas, of
Mm,
course, we were discussing before, or I mean, many other topics have always been about awareness and such and stigmas surrounding mental health, especially like if we're bringing work into this, it was so difficult. Like there was unimaginable to ask your boss to be like, "Can I have a day off? I don't feel mentally well." They're gonna look at you like, "Excuse me, if you can walk, you can get back to your desk and work." Right? Exactly.
mm,
So it's great that we're finally starting to open up on these discussions, and we're able to actually take mental health days. I mean, I'm able to myself as well, where that was not a reality at one point. So
mm,
it's great that now that we're starting to have a bit more of these tools and awareness, that for sure we should definitely step into these conversations with ourselves, because
yeah.
I waited too long, and I'm sure many others did too, and it could get dangerous, right? And I'm glad that people are starting to do so, and brave people like yourself as
Mm.
well, going ahead, putting out a podcast, but make yourself so vulnerable, speaking about yourself. But when we see individuals doing that, being courageous enough to step up to the plate, that
Mm.
helps many others to do the same. So what you're doing is awesome work. I just want to let you know.
Thank you.
Okay.
If you want to hear more stories, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. To support more youth by youth led projects, visit us at youthspeak.ca, where you can donate and spread youth mental health awareness.
YouthSpeak Performance Charity. Speak, inspire, change.